Thank you. I'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land, acknowledging and paying my respects to the elders, both past and present. In the past, I've spoken about self-creation through hip-hop, empowerment through hip-hop, why its history is important today, or how I've taken my own personal journey through hip-hop and applied it to the community workshop format, and how effective that's been for young people across the country. But today, I want to talk about something a bit different, which I haven't spoken about in public before. I want to talk about what I see as an extension to music. For me, music is storytelling. It's a connection to one's own past. For me, through music, I was able to explore my own cultural identity, my connection to my parents' motherland and my own motherland, Punjab in India. And I also see music as a reflection of the present. It's social commentary, it's self-expression, it's emotion. But it's also, music also plays a role in the manifestation of the future. It allows artists and people who express themselves through music to paint a brighter picture for the world moving into the future. So in essence, music is dialogue. And we, for example, take performance as an example. For me, when I get on stage to perform, I see it as an opportunity to interact with the people who are there in the building. When you go to a hip-hop show, you most of the times are going to be a part of a call and response. When I say, you say something, like there's a call and response element happening. So in essence, music, and in particular hip-hop, focuses on this key aspect of communication. In fact, the most well-known hip-hop artists consider themselves as MCs as opposed to rappers, and the distinction they make between the two is quite clear. An MC takes pride in communication, is a master of language, or the adopted language of the MC, and is a master of telling stories, painting pictures, creating vibes and emotion. So when I thought about all these things in relation to music, I wanted to extend the dialogue beyond the performance aspect and beyond beyond listening to a piece of music, a CD or MP3. How could I create something that was dialogue around something that was important to me, and how could I get people to realize their similarities more so than their differences? And in doing so, how can I create a space that would enable people to build relationships and to make new friendships? I often believe in this saying that you can't educate a person who is an enemy because they're generally closed to what you have to say, but you can educate a friend because a friend will be open to what you have to say and will listen. So I started something called the Power to the Peaceful Community, which exists to encourage everlasting and meaningful dialogue around peace. It's committed to building and promoting peaceful relationships between people and communities. And at this point in time, the community does it by expressing our creativity in the clothes we wear. So I started it originally as a t-shirt design with the fist and the peace symbol behind it and the phrase "Power to the Peaceful." And what I asked people to do is when they got it, to take a photo of themselves wearing it in spaces that were meaningful to them, and to send their photos to me, but also to provide a caption of a few paragraphs or however long they wanted it to be. It could be a short dialogue, it could be poetry, it could be recorded, a video, whatever. Send it and include your thoughts about peace and how you achieve peace in your own life. And what emerged from that was people from all over the world who had reached out to grab a t-shirt would send their thoughts and their ideas and how they achieve peace. So for some people it was through music, for some people it was through sport, for others it was engaging in community. And there's now an online gallery of people and their expressions of their opinions on peace and how they achieve it. And despite people's differences in how they achieve it, there's one underlying core thing, which is a phrase that often gets used, which is, "I'd like to see peace in those around me. I want to see a peaceful community and a peaceful world because there's so many issues and problems that affect us." So there's these similarities there. From that, people come to the shows that I do and they rock their t-shirts or their hoodies, and you see a sea of people doing it, and wearing it, and immediately they start connecting with each other because they recognize the connection they have just by wearing the same piece of clothing, and they might recognize people who've contributed to the gallery and they've read their thoughts, so they start to build conversations, relationships form. For me, moving into the future, I want to expand the idea even more. And so for me, this really is an idea. It hasn't yet been manifested. But at some point, I would like to be able to create a space, a community space, run by or funded by the Power to the Peaceful line, not relying on any outsourced funding, where often the future of a space can never be certain. And hopefully it can become multiple spaces. It could, at this point in time, I've had ideas of making it a training space where people can come in and build up their skills as workshop facilitators to go out into their communities and empower people through means that they, by connecting with community and sharing stories. And becoming a creative space, a creative hub. At this point, it's all these ideas in my head, and I would like to see that manifest at some point. So to me, an extension, or this comes back, to one point, which is going back to why I begin and why I continue as an artist. To me, I see the role of an artist as someone who's not there to really provide solutions, but rather to ask questions. To ask questions in an attempt to bring attention to the many things around us, to inspire, to share, to manifest, to contribute value to others' lives. And to me, the Power to the Peaceful community asks people questions and provides a space for dialogue and communication, which I think is at the core of music as well. Thank you.